Hey, what's happening everyone? I am Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and today I'm here to provide you with my review for Fruit Ninja Kinect 2 for the Xbox One. And Fruit Ninja Kinect 2 is pretty much a arcade game. We're going to be slicing fruit and trying to compete to get the highest score. Now, going over the graphics, visually the game is bright and colorful as always, and in comparing it to the original title on the Xbox 360, one of the things I did notice is that the visuals seem to be a lot more sharper, and the contrasting within the colors seem to be much more improved. But other than that, it is a bright and colorful game, not really much to talk about there. Now let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay. For the gameplay is really simple to understand, is that your body is the controller. So as you swing your arms, legs, feet around, or an object, that's going to register that as a command on screen. For the object portion, you could use something like a Nerf sword or plastic sword to swing around, or in this case you could also use a real sword, but it is recommended you do not do that for safety reasons, and that is quite dangerous. So in addition to the controls, this game does offer quite a few different modes, starting with the classic mode. Now the classic mode is basically you're trying to get a high score. However, if you miss a fruit, you get a strike. After 3 strikes, it's game over, or as soon as you hit a bomb, it is also game over. Next up, you have the arcade mode. Within the arcade mode, it pretty much works quite differently, where you have fruit that's going to be coming in. Every time you miss a fruit, you're not going to get punished for it. However, if you hit a bomb, you're going to get minus 10 seconds off your initial time. Thus, you're not going to be able to get a high score that you're trying to plan to in the first place. Now, in addition to the classic and arcade mode, you have a few additional modes, including multiplayer. So starting with the standard modes, you have the Katsuro's Ninja Dodge. Here you're going to be slicing a fruit. At the same time, you're going to be dodging shurikens being tossed at you. Next up is Mari Strawberry Stealth. Here you're going to be slicing fruit, but at the same time you're going to be avoiding the spotlight, so you got to be careful about that. Next up is the Nobu's Bamboo Strike, and here you have bamboo seeds that are going to be popping in the screen. If they hit the floor, bamboo is going to sprout, thus blocking you, preventing you from trying to get the score, and you're going to have to try to knock the bamboo out of the way. Next up, which is a mode that didn't quite work out too well, which is known as Han's Apple Range, and here you're going to be tossing knives and trying to pin the fruit against the wooden boards. And again, for this mode, for some reason, the control schemes didn't register quite well, so this was probably the only downside out of all the additional modes within here. Now next up, you also have multiplayer. For the multiplayer modes, you have party mode. In this one, you have 2 players competing to slice the most fruit, which includes mini games occurring during the gameplay, such as striking ninja poses, propelling fruit, popping balloons, and much more. And last but not least, you have battle mode, where here you're going to be slicing bananas to impact your opponent's score to gain the advantage, kind of like a tug-of-war scene, which overall is a lot of fun. So again, this is not just a simple arcade game. This is an arcade game with a lot of additional modes, even for something for throwing parties. But in the end, everything on here was really enjoyable. Now, going over the sound portion of the game, there's not really much to mention here due to the fact that it doesn't really feature some type of epic soundtrack. Here you just have the sound effects from fruits being sliced, and of course the bombs going off every time you hit them. Other than that, it's just a standard sound design, and overall which is pretty much enjoyable to listen to. Now, going over the lifespan, to me this game has a great lifespan because one, it's a fun and addicting arcade game where you're trying to beat your own personal highest score or your friend's highest score. Not only that, this game makes such a great party game due to the fact that if you were hosting a party, or maybe your little kid was having a party, you could set something for the kids to play or set something for your guests to play, where people can easily jump in, play, have a great experience, and overall enjoy your party even more. But like I said, the lifespan here is really fun and addicting. As for the innovation, was there anything new here? Was this something that we've already seen before? Or this is something that we've seen before with the past Fruit Ninja game, but with an addition of a few additional modes. One of the things that I did wish to see for this one is maybe some type of option to change the difficulty, because I do feel at times that some of these modes do get a little bit more challenging as the time limit is about to end, but in the beginning phases it's extremely too easy. So having something like an additional option to change up the game speed would be a great benefit to something like this. But other than that, like I said, there's not really much of a huge innovation, and with the Kinect 2.0, overall the controls seem to work except for one particular mode. So in the end, I'm going to give Fruit Ninja 2 on the Xbox One a 9 out of 10. If you guys would like to see some gameplay, guys can check the link down below. Anyways, I am Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, where we empower your gaming.